Hey, folks, this isn't pointed at anyone in particular. I'm just making a statement on this. Let me just get right into it. Y'all see what the title says. It's about education. Now, I know it's easy sometimes blaming certain teachers, and I'm not saying all teachers are good, because I'm quite sure there are some crap teachers out there, but every teacher isn't crap. I know there's some crap schools and administrations out there, but all schools and administrations aren't crap. Well, Nick, what are you talking about? Hold what you got. Now, who all here has been to public or private school or have some sorts of formal education outside of the home? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Okay, let me count. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. That's the majority. Okay, put your hands down. Put your hands down. Now, how many of you was in a class that you and other students passed, but other students failed? Raise your hand. Okay, let me see. Couple. Yeah. Okay, this. All right. Good count. Good enough. Put your hands down. So, if everyone in the same class was in closed in them same four walls with a floor and a ceiling, you had the same teacher standing in front with the chalkboard, and all of you were operating out of the same book. Or sometimes some I remember some things we done wasn't in the book. They'd hand us like just papers, you know, how you got like 5 or 6 of them stapled together, and that's your syllabus to study for this particular thing. That maybe our textbook for this civics class didn't go in depth enough when this book was printed, or whatever the case may be. But you know what I'm getting at. So you have this here. I get a B. That let's say the classroom average for this class was a B. It was a few people that had A's. We had 2 A pluses, some C, but the overall score for this class was a B. But you had 4 kids fail. Okay, so 4 kids got an E. Or an F. Well, because you couldn't to get an F in Detroit public school system. I mean, you didn't show up at all. You showed up, you just didn't pass. You got an E. Okay. Anyway, so who do we blame? The student or the teacher? Who's to blame? Do we blame the textbook? Maybe, but by Moffitt. Moffitt Publishing. Do we blame Moffitt Publishing? Do we blame the teacher? Do we blame the administration? The classroom was too cold, or it was too hot. The sun was shining through the window too brightly. Who do we blame? Because if we blame the teacher, then explain how these 2 kids got A pluses, these 3 got A's, and the class as a whole averaged a B. Now, if everyone in the class failed and got an E, everybody in the class got an E, then yes, the red flag should be raised. Something is wrong. Now, everybody ain't gonna pass everything in life. Like I said, and again, I'm not making excuses for bad teachers or bad administrations. But just like I remember being in school, I remember getting A's in civics. I suffered trigonometry and calculus wore me out. Guess what I had to go to for those classes? Remedial. Now, my first semester I had to go because I was sucking bad. I ain't even gonna sit here in front. It was, oh my goodness. I was like, man, I'm ready to jump off the building there at Cooley High. Went to remedial. I got it up. I passed with a C. I got a C. Daddy wasn't happy at all because he did not like C's in his house whatsoever. But I'm like, Dad, but he knew in light of all my other grades that I've always had, he know it's just something that just beyond my scope that I just couldn't fully, but I got A's in history and world history, and European history, and American history, civics, and and algebra, and A, B, B minus, A, B, C, after remedial. After I thought I was going to get kicked off the football team because I was pretty much, I had a full-fledged D. I had a full-fledged D in calculus, full-fledged, wearing me out. I could not get my head around it to save my neck. So, who do you blame? I'm not talking about, well, this district in Baltimore where everybody in the school reading on a fourth grade level. I'm not talking about those extremes. I'm not talking about, do those extremes exist? Yes. But their problem is a whole different kettle of fish than what's going on at normal institutions. Normal. Now, because I know I read very well, but this guy couldn't read it all. And yeah, we can say a lot of it, what's going on in the home. And then I heard a gentleman say today, I mean, like I said, I'm not trying to drag nobody into this, and saying kids go to school to learn, which is true. Parents can't teach. Parents ain't a teacher. You ain't a teacher. You're a this or you're a that. You're a plumber. You're a okay, wait a minute. I'm a parent. But here's the thing. I went to school too. I went to school before I became a parent. I went from kindergarten to 12th grade. I was not a parent. I was a student. So now that I get older, you actually get smarter. Well, on life, but you know what I mean. But your scope, the scope of your horizons expand. Okay. You have yet to hit your plateau. Okay. So how is it now that I was a great student and I was able to learn from somebody else, but I can't teach my own? I'm not qualified to teach my own. I learned so much from my parents, from mom and dad and grandma and granddad, that now it did help that my grandfather was the director of the Utley Branch Library in Detroit. That did help. That helped a lot. But and my grandparents live next door to, literally next door. You walk out our house, down the stairs, down the sidewalk, up the next sidewalk, and go into their house. When I say next door, I mean literally. I learned so much from them and at home, and that it actually made school easier. Sometime I would have to adjust my answers for the textbook that we're being tested out of. I just know, look, Daddy said this. All right, here's the other side of this. The Weimar, the Weimar Republic, and this happened, and then the hyperinflation, and that kicked this off, and da 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 da. Okay, but the book says this, so I'll remember what Daddy said. But I'm taking the test to this textbook because I want that A. I want to pass, because the more points I get when I hit the 12th grade, the less elective hours that I need to graduate. And I can get my ass out of here. Yeah, I was thinking like that at 16, because I was 17 when I left school. Folks, God, I notice A lot of people put the establishment right up front, and they put the least amount of onus on the people in the household and the parents, which to me is crazy. To me, that's crazy. I know everybody, because we weren't rich. Don't say, oh, hell no, we were poor. I remember when we were poor, we was poor. We weren't poor. We were poor. No, we was poor. We couldn't afford we couldn't afford the R. It was just P-O-O. No, just P-O. Hell, we couldn't afford the O-R. We was poor. Still got good grades in school. Still went to school. Kids crack on you. You poor, y'all poor and broke. Yeah, but I got an A and you got a D plus. So, hey, I'll see you next year. Oh, that's right. You'll still be here, but I'll be in the 10th grade. Toodles. So I mean, and you got a this. And I graduated. Sure did. What about you? And you? Oh, well, all righty then. Well, you look real good standing on the corner with your fresh gear and me with my raggedy gear. But I'm leaving this jank. You hear? You heard me? Too many people are given a pass. I'm not on that. It takes a village crap, because a lot of villages are tainted as hell and they have a slant. But one part, a lot of people, I notice, people of color love to leave out, melanated people, where, all right, your school board is elected. Okay? All these people are elected. They set up the system. What people, they love refusing to connect political party and aspirations to how the cities are ran, the police departments, the education systems, all of that other stuff. All of that other stuff. My kids went to school in San Antonio for a while until we moved further out, and then moved again further out, then further out. Now they going into they're in pretty much a white school. Red ideology, very little blue, mainly red. None of this goofball crap y'all see in school now. None of that crap. Their grades, even with the same instructions that they were getting from me and the missus, their grades went up. Even though the schoolwork got harder, their grades went up. Because there was a whole bunch of other distractions and bull crap that they didn't have to deal with. Actually I got to loosen up on my study habits for them just a little bit as I was tracking their progress. And even then, to this day, they're grown women, they're grown boys and men and women now. And they say that at the time they was against it. They was mad, all this other stuff, because it ain't cool, it ain't hip, it ain't yay, bout it. They're grown now, all of them. And they still tell me the best thing I done was practically going broke, moving from the east side of the San Antonio, moving east out of Bexar County. Because their grades and everything just went through the roof. Now, that's not going to be available to everybody. I get it. But I was doing what I can when I could, because, the study habits. So don't let nobody tell you that you're not qualified to teach your children anything. You can't teach your children anything. That's the school's job. That's bull crap. I'll tell you, 5 + 5 is 10. Well, how do you know? Are you a teacher? No. Are you a mathematician? No. Then how do you know? Okay, is it or isn't it? Well, you just happen to get it right. But yes, your answer is correct. But you need to leave that to the mathematicians and the teacher. Are you kidding me? That's where I learned it from, dude. That's where I learned it from. So I can learn that from a teacher and my parents, but I'm not allowed to teach it to my children. I need to leave that up to the same educational system that you say is flawed. Now make sense. 1 minute you tell, it was literally not even 2 minutes apart about the jacked up inner city school systems that's been ran by Democrats for decades. But then telling the parent that they need to partake in some of it, but then also saying that the parent ain't a teacher, that the education needs to belong to the school. Make that make sense. Y'all be good. Be safe. Let me know what you think. Put your comments below and I'll holler at y'all later. Bye.